What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Right Wager podcast. It's Wednesday, September 26, 2018. Haven't been on in a couple days on the show. Like to step in and say hello to everyone, do some, college football prep, soccer prep, whatever we want to talk about tonight. I'm just sitting here capping anyway. And, for me, it's easier to retain knowledge by speaking it than hearing it myself. So I'm here to chat a little bit about some things. We'll see what people's heads are, take some questions and some comments as well. I had Barcelona today. They lost to Leganés, which was quite surprising to me. 2-1. You give up a goal, 2 straight minutes, 52, 53. They don't lose very often, but this is a little bit of a rough spot for Barcelona. But listen, I mean, it is what it is. What are you going to do, right? I mean, you take the best team in the league against the worst team in the league. You take a guy in Messi who has dominated Leganés in his career. Coutinho, Dembele, plenty of options. They get the goal 12 minutes in, and you're thinking, okay, 3, 4, maybe they can get. But Real Madrid losing as well right now. So, this is a tough league. It's a hard league. It's a league I don't play a ton of, but I thought today's spot I really liked. What are you going to do, right? When you have a game like this, you expect, Barcelona takes care of teams like this. They played Huesca. They beat them 8-2. You beat Alaves 3-0. You generally beat these teams, handily. But, it wasn't meant to be today. What are you going to do? What's up, Eric, KG, GFY, Mike, Tonio? What else do we have here? And who else do we have here? Scott, Jason, Matthew, what's up? Welcome in. Hope you enjoy the show. Feel free to send in any questions you might have, really wherever you want to go. I was not on the Premier League punters today, which always sucks. But with the new radio show, I'm not available at 3 anymore. I will be back next week. We're going to go to the 2 o'clock time slot. So I will be back next week for that. But we can even chat a little Premier League. A lot of nice prices out there this week in that league. So it's fun with the new show, and that obviously is going to make it clear that I'm not going to be on here as much doing this show. That's taking up a lot of my time right now. Obviously we have the right side of campus as well. I'm just not into just redundantly talking about the same thing. I might come on here once, twice a week and just take some questions and chat with people. But this is not something that I'm going to be doing every night due to that show. But that show is going to continue to grow, and I appreciate all of you who check it out. It's definitely a cool situation for both Donnie and I. So I wanted to talk about something quickly, and I was thinking about this the other night because I went out for dinner with my sister and my parents, and we got on the topic of just talk. We were eating, and someone mentioned food, and I was thinking to myself, what? I don't know why I thought this, but like I don't eat really bad anymore. Like I don't. There's a lot of things that I don't eat, and I feel like when you eat them now, it's a lot better when you eat them. And I try to have a cheat day every week, and I had a piece the other day of fried chicken, and I thought to myself, wow, isn't that one of those foods that's just like tremendously good? Like, now I eat a lot of, I'm eating a lot of, just not a lot of carbs. I'm trying to cut down on that and get rid of them and just not eat them. No bread and sweets and things like that. Not eating late at night. A lot of that stuff has helped me kind of curb stuff. And obviously working out, you want to fill yourself with good fuel, but just some of those comfort foods that you eat that are just, I mean, my God, I mean, how good is chicken? It's just the greatest thing, isn't it? Yeah, I can't wait as well, Scott. We talked about it college basketball last night on my channel. Did a video on some futures. Feel free to check that out. Some real good information there. You really notice when you cut back on that stuff and come back to, I had a piece of it, and it was very good initially, but it tastes a lot better, but there's so many good comfort foods, aren't there? But yeah, you don't want to eat that stuff. You definitely feel different when you stop eating that stuff, for sure. Can you explain the Syracuse line? Well, I mean, the line has a lot to do with the quarterback decision. People like Trevor Lawrence. People like what he brings you at quarterback, and people look at this as a kind of a rebound spot. They lost to Syracuse last year. It's a revenge angle. They're at home. Syracuse can't stop anybody. It does seem like a lot of points, but a team like Clemson, it can move the ball. And one thing we know about, or what Syracuse can move the ball. And one thing we know about Clemson is they struggle to defend in the secondary. I think the over is worth the look to me, but the side is kind of high, but I think it's high for a reason. He is really good. What do we got here? There's a wrench next to his name because he is there to kick people like you out. So if you continue your crap ball, which you've kind of been real, I've seen your comments in here. I'm pretty sure you're a troll. You're always hinting at stuff. Paul, I'm not putting up with it today. So some stupid comment, and you're out of here. I don't have to. I'm blocking your ass. I don't like you. You're a shit starter. There is a lot of need for that for people like you. Shit talkers that hide behind fake names. That's you. Yeah, I don't really care what you think, Teddy B. So I don't really care if you would have told me that anyway. I don't care what you think, and I don't care what anyone thinks about my plays. Yeah, I'm sure it was a wrong spot to pick them. Great call, Teddy. Listen, don't bust my balls, okay? You don't buy my picks, so don't worry about what I do. You're not to rub salt in the wound. So why would you mention it? I just talked about Barcelona. They're playing the worst team in the league. Messi destroys them. What wouldn't be the play there? Why don't you tell us, actually, Teddy? Go ahead and tell us why they weren't the play today. Let's hear. Go ahead. Feel free to let us know, because you're the king of handicapping. By the way, it's funny, though. We haven't heard from you at all in our morning show. Wonder why that is. Oh, because the Vikings got absolutely destroyed and embarrassed. That's why. The homer, Teddy B, wasn't in the chat. And that's why. Because his team stinks. And they got destroyed by one of the worst teams in the league. We haven't heard from him this week, though. That's funny. So why don't you bring that up? Not to rub salt in the wound, but maybe the Bills are playing that game. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he comes here. I mean, he's always the professional. He always knows more than everyone else, yet he never gives us any opinion on anything. It's always after the fact. He's always right after the fact. That's what Teddy does. It's always after the fact. Notice he didn't come on Twitter and say, hey, big man, Barcelona, I wouldn't bet them today. Notice he didn't do that. It's only after the point. So, Teddy, why don't you let us know why they weren't? I'm sure you were on Sevilla today too, right? You faded Barca and Real Madrid. I'm sure you did that, right? What do I think of Oakland over the Browns? I like Oakland. I said that on the NFL show today, the roundtable. I think it's a good spot to back Oakland. People love Cleveland right now. They love Baker Mayfield. But this Oakland team's been a little unlucky. I think they're better than they played lately. The record as far as that, I think the Oakland's played pretty well. They hung around against Denver. Probably could have won that game. Last week's game, they were right in as well. Back at home against a team that I don't really want to lay points with, which we're not. We're getting points. But you basically see to win if you're Oakland. I think they get the job done here. I think their defense has played better than I thought it would. Derek Carr's had a pretty solid season so far. I think it's a decent spot to back the Oakland Raiders. Why does everyone care who's a moderator? I made him a moderator for people like you, Paul. That's why. No problem, Tonya. Hit the like button, please. Am I going to do No, I don't bet on MLB right now, really. Yeah, it is a tough time of the year in MLB. Nationals are winning, which we talked about on the roundtable this morning. I think a decent play tonight's Oakland, even money. I mean, why not take a shot with Oakland? They obviously, the game's important to them. Edwin Jackson's continued to pitch really well. Edwin Jackson's been really good this year. I mean, what a renaissance for a pitcher. Edwin Jackson. I mean, this guy was a complete fade a couple years ago. But we've seen these guys. Wade LeBlanc, Edwin Jackson. It's impressive. Tough loss last night for the Oakland Athletics. That's definitely a tough one last night. But I want to know. I'm trying to remember as far as home field's concerned. Did the Yankees clinch home field? What is the Yankees magic number? Yankees magic number is 2. Okay, so this game's important for Oakland. Yeah, I like Oakland tonight. I like them tonight. Yeah, I'm going Oakland here. Even money. Felix is a fade. Felix stinks. Felix is old. Seattle's 11-16 when Felix pitches. I'm going Oakland. I mean, not for nothing though. I mean, this team. I think last night was the first game they lost when leading after the 8th inning. So they generally close it out. Shout out to our friend Donnie Rightside, who's killing it in the NFL. We're starting to right the ship a little bit. And Ian Cameron will be joining us on the site next week. Hockey gets going. So if you're interested in hockey plays, feel free to come by the website and say hello to Ian Cameron. $59 a month, $2 a day. Not bad. Ian will give you plenty of hockey plays. I'm sure he'll do some shows as well. So great hockey handicapper. Does a lot of UFC. He'll have some football as well. So you join Ian Cameron for sure. Check that out today on the website. I think in baseball, the one play I'd be looking at is Oakland. And look, I mean, let's be honest right now, folks. I mean, Oakland's murdering the ball, so it's a pretty nice spot for them. They need the game badly. What's up, George Young? How you doing? Boston George Young checking in. I don't have a season package in NCAA. Well, you could just buy the 6 months, $4.99. Basketball's coming. 6 months would be October, November, December, January, February, March. So you get through March. So that would work perfect. Any lean on Thursday night NFL game? I like now that it's up to 7. I don't like it as much. I like the Rams at 6.5. I just think there's a lot of turmoil around the Vikings right now. But you would think this game's a good one. You think it's close. You think it's a fun one. The Vikings are still, they got to go out there and play. It sucks about Everson Griffin, but they got to go out there and play. This seems to be a good bounce back spot. I think it's at least close. 6.5, I like the Rams for sure. I think they can win by 7, maybe 31-24, something like that. But now that it's at 7, you got to win by a full, more than a full touchdown. It's just not for me now. So I lean Rams, but I'm not at 7. At 6.5, it's a better play. Georgia says Vikings went outright. Very good. Good luck. It's funny. Vikings we're talking about, and Teddy B has disappeared. Seems like whenever we call Teddy B out, he disappears. I'm not sure why. Teddy wants to come in and dish it out, but when it's time to come in and actually make a point, he disappears. So I'm not sure what happened to him, but he still hasn't let us know about Barcelona. Now that we're talking Vikings, he's nowhere to be found either. But again, I think we already know what he likes. It's going to be Vikings. Any inside info on Ajayi and Sproles? I think they both play, but I need to find out more. Alshon will be in there. Miles Espy, Kentucky's a lock, and so is Texas A&M. Good luck. Teddy B. Let me tell you why I wouldn't have played Barca. I watched La Liga more than you. You hate the La Liga. Suarez and Alba were out, not the right spot. Riveting information. So I shouldn't have played Barca because I don't watch as much La Liga as you. But again, you have no idea what I watch because you don't live with me and you barely talk to me. So because I don't like La Liga, most of the other teams, which I've never said, I said I don't think it's a good league other than Real and Barcelona. Seems like an exact reason why I shouldn't back them today. Are you that dense? Seriously? Are you that dense, Teddy? I just think you're just I don't know. I don't know if you're high all the time or you're drunk. I don't know. But that's one of the stupidest opinions I've ever heard. But nowadays, I mean, I kind of almost expect that from you. I mean, are you ever going to come in here and say something that makes sense? Because that doesn't make any sense at all. Suarez wasn't out. He played the whole second half. And frankly, when he came in, it seemed like the wheels fell off. So I'm not sure if you were watching the same game as I was. But hey, keep working for information. Why don't you give us opinion on your Vikings tomorrow? Oh, wait. We already know what you're going to pick. You love the Vikings. Feel free to keep your questions coming. Whatever you want to talk about. You have a question on a soccer game, let's chat. England, that's where our heads generally are. On the weekend, Yankees tonight with the Rays. Obviously, Tanaka pitching, you would think they'd win, but it's still a big game for Oakland. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. We also have a game tomorrow in college, North Carolina and Miami. A lot of players coming back for UNC. They get some uh, big time help. They get a few skill position players back, a lot of defensive help, defensive tackles, linebackers. Um, actually two linebackers. So a lot of help coming back for UNC. And this is a lot of this is the Cozy Perry's probably his starting job now. A lot of pressure on the young kid here. A lot of points delay. UNC coming off a nice win at Pittsburgh. Nathan Elliott kind of falling into place. He's starting to play well for UNC. We talked about this on that Monday SBR show, the student section. Think this might be too many points for UNC. Teddy B is taking over in the Vikings to over team total. There you go. Something for sure. He's on the Vikings. USC and the candy. I agree. I like UNC here. Sean McVay's girlfriend's hot. What's she look like? I've never seen her. See what she looks like. Sean McVay's girlfriend. Let me take a look at this broad. Uh, yeah, definitely. Very attractive. Not really my type, but I wouldn't kick out of bed. Actually, I'm seeing different pictures. Yes, very attractive, cute for sure. More cute than hot, but um, her body's unreal. So good for him. It seems to be living the dream. Yeah, agreed. That's a good point, Brian. Teddy, why don't you do your own show? Like, you with all this great information, why don't you do your own show? I mean, everyone else is doing a show. Everyone's good at this now, so why don't you do one? Everyone has courage to do shows now. Why don't you do one? Maybe you can, do your own thing. Then you could talk as much Vikings and La Liga as you want. And if I come in, you can actually block me if you want. That's what you would be lucky to be able to do. But yeah, nice call. Definitely attractive. Very hot body. Good body for sure. Um, what else do we have in college this week? There's one I wanted to talk about here. Army Buffalo. Line's coming down in this game. These last two games between these two have been real close. Teams that love to play defense, definitely kind of run the football. Buffalo, those picked it up, throwing the football, more offensive this year. This is Buffalo's best team. But these games have been close between these two the last few years. 21-17 Army last year, 23-20 Buffalo the year before. You're getting over a touchdown here with the Army. It's hard to get the ball away from that group late in the game. They're disciplined. The time of possession is always high. There's nothing more brutal when you're down 6, laying 7, and you need the ball from Army. They're not going to oblige you. Kelvin Hopkins was very good last week. They came and played against Oklahoma. They didn't play well in that game from a statistic perspective, and they were still right in it. It's tough to lay points right now against Army. Settle down, Brian Rowe. We get it. Teddy's just having a bad day. Can we all agree David Fizda has the best girl and wife as a coach? I haven't seen her in a while, actually. Let me see what she looks like. David Fizdale. I mean, look, to me, the hottest wife of an athlete is Dwayne Wade. Gabrielle Union is tip top. Yeah, I think I've seen Fizdale's wife before. She is hot. Yeah, she's way too hot for him. Um, yeah, for sure. She's that's like my type to a T. Like that's a nice looking woman. Wow, good for him. Yeah, I like Gabrielle Union. That's my girl. Union and her are that chick is really attractive. Wow, good point. What do you think about Notre Dame and Stanford? That's a tough game. Lead Notre Dame. Join us after the fact with Teddy B, where Teddy B comes on live and tells you what you should have bet after the games are finished. That's funny. It's actually a decent name for it. Big man, do you have to manually update your record or is it automatic? I don't think that concerns you, so I don't know why you have to know that. Don't worry about what I do. I'm a handicapper. Handicapper Watchdog does it on their own, so you have to take that up with them when they do it. It's funny. I mean, when I was giving out free plays, people would bust my balls because I didn't track them. Now I'm tracking them, and I gotta hear about how I'm not doing it fast enough. I don't do it, you fucks. You fucking people that need to know so bad. Uh, yeah, listen, Teddy, we don't need we don't need you also send out losers too. We all do. We're just sick of your needling after the games. That's just what you do. Just that's what kind of pisses people off about you because you don't even come in and say hello. You just go, "Oh, big man, that's a good play on Barcelona. I would have made that play." Shut up, dude. Like I don't need you telling me anything. Believe me, I can get off it on my own. Okay, how about this? How about Teddy on Saturday? How about right now? You let us know what your favorite plays are in La Liga, and I'll write them down for this week, and we can see how you'll do. So let's do that. Let's do a Teddy tracker. That's perfect. That's a new segment on the show. Let's do a Teddy B tracker. I'm going to write your plays down for Saturday. Teddy, why don't you give us your plays? So by the end of the show, send us what you're on in La Liga this year, this week, because you're the La Liga expert. So you want to be tracked? We'll track you. I'll track you. Let's hear your plays for this week. Buckeyes roll Penn State by double digits. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Penn State's going to have a lot of trouble against that offense. Penn State's giving up 4.5 yards a carry. So that's a concern for me in this game. Mike Weber should have a big game. Will anyone be in Vegas this weekend? I will not. I don't know when I'll ever go back there. Settle down, Hamburg. Teddy, this is a constant with you. Let's just hear your picks, bro. I mean, you're telling us how you have all these picks, so let's hear them. What was a bad spot about it, Teddy? Explain that to me. I want to hear how it was a bad spot. What was bad about the spot? You haven't told us that yet. You're just telling me who didn't play. Which again, it's Barcelona and they're playing Leganés, so I mean, I'm not really sure it's what was bad about it. I think Teddy thinks that like me as I'm supposed to like everyone else just like let him keep talking and do his thing, but like I'm sick of his shtick, frankly. Like I'm sick of it. He always dishes it out, but he never gives any picks behind it. Do I play any video games? No, I don't. I mean, when I was younger, I did Grand Theft Auto and stuff, but no, I don't play video games now. But you know, I guess a lot of people still are into video games. All the different all the different computer games and all that stuff. Yeah, I was never into that really. All right, guys, we'll be on for a couple more minutes. Obviously, we have so many shows, and we talk about plenty of games there. Brewers in a good spot. Okay, very good. Line dropping to 12.5 for San Jose. Yeah, I don't really understand that either. I think people are just buying in and thinking that Hawaii won't win on the mainland, just kind of fading that. Makes sense. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm not looking to step in front of Hawaii. If this was Wyoming or someone like that, maybe, but San Jose are really bad. I don't have soreness anymore. I don't ever have soreness actually. Um, I'm pretty much I'm kind of past that point now. Uh, Thoughts on my boy Kamar Baldwin? No, no, no. Butler's always a solid team. They're well coached. I like Baldwin a lot, but I don't know. For me, it's more about Marquette, Providence, and obviously Villanova. But Butler's always a good team. They're always well coached. They play hard. And Baldwin's a really good player. But what are you going to get out of the rest of the team? Because you don't have a ton of returners. I mean, Paul Jorgensen's back. You get a guy named Bryce Enzi. He came over from Milwaukee. He played for the that Milwaukee team for a few years. A decent player. Um, but or I'm sorry, what am I saying? Chris Holtman. I mean Lavelle Jordan. Lavelle Jordan first year last year there. He actually played under I think Lavelle Jordan at one point. So yeah, I don't know. I like Baldwin a lot. Great player, junior player, but I don't know much about this team from a depth perspective. So I got to find out more about them. But yeah, he'll be one of the better players in the league, sure. Where's Kelly Bryant going? I would think like the Pac-12 probably. Um, Probably like maybe UCLA or ours or Washington State, somewhere like that. He only's got a year of eligibility, so um, I'm not I'm not sure. I don't think it's a top tier program though. I would say it's more or less like a middle tier, like Pac-12 team or something. Um, what's up, Taylor H? Thanks, Robin. Who's the senior late and mid major under the radar team this year? A la Texas Arlington last year. Um, well, I would say somewhere along the lines of Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee's not really a mid major. They're not a surprise. They're the senior laden team that I really like. I mean, they have a lot of juniors and seniors on that team, and that's one of the reasons I think they're going to win the SEC this year. As far as a team that's kind of under the radar, I'll tell you a team out of the Atlantic 10 that I'm pretty high on is George Mason. I think George Mason's an interesting team coming into the season. That's not a particularly good conference now that Rhode Island, they've kind of moved on. St. Joe's has some young players coming in. I like this George Mason team. Dave Paulson's got a pretty good group of kids down there. They bring in Otis Livingston's back, senior guard, Jair Grayer, senior guard as well. Those two are really good. Maybe it could be like what Jalen Adams and Matt Mobley were for St. Bonnie last year. Bonnies are down a little bit. VCU kind of rebuilding. I kind of like the guard play for Mason. That's an interesting little basketball team there. And they're, like you said, you're asking for senior laden. I think that it's an open league this year in the Atlantic 10. So I'd have my eye on that one if I had to. If you could find a future on who will win the Atlantic 10, I maybe would consider the Patriots, George Mason. What do we got here? Big man, I had a tiff on another show with people saying you were a troll on the chat. What other show was that? And tell me more about that. Could Kansas State upset Texas? Yeah, I think they can. I'm not running to the window to bet Texas is a favorite. Herman, I like him as a coach. I like him as a dog, but I don't want to bet them in this spot. This is a dangerous spot. No one likes Kansas State right now. I think they're kind of a mangy mutt, but I think they might be in a good spot here at home. You should be getting DOMS after every workout. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, Isaac, I got you, man. I think if you see my videos, I don't really take days off when I go to the gym. We do it pretty hard. Thanks, Chris Carter. Yeah, I could see NC State. Ryan Finley's a senior, sure. Whatever happened to the FBI probe in college basketball? It's over. They did what they had to do, and that was it. Did Seton Hall reload? They lost a lot. Yeah, they did. Losing Angel Delgado is obviously the big one. Angel Delgado was an absolutely terrific rebounder. I mean, one of the best I've ever seen. He moves to the next level. But they have some talent coming back. I mean, they have a kid named Miles Powell coming back. Michael Enzai, a senior, kind of could be maybe an Angel Delgado type of player for them. But they did lose a lot. Desi Rodriguez and Delgado. Kevin Willard's got to rebuild a little bit. Didn't really go out and address any transfers or anything. But they have some young players they're excited about. Torian Thompson out of St. Anthony in New York or New Jersey. Yeah, I mean they got to reload. They're not going to be a team that I'm running to bet this year. I actually really liked Seton Hall last year. They were a really nice bet towards the end of the season. Took them a couple different times at home and did those those Big East tournament games. Texas basketball. What are my thoughts on them? Yeah, Shaka's starting to get into his kind of the okay, is this going to pay off time? Because this is his third year now, and this is kind of the time where you would think your roster should be able to take the next go to the next level. You only got Mo Bamba for 1 year, so that's obviously tough. He leaves. But Matt Coleman was a top recruit for them. He comes back as a guard. Kerwin Roach is back as well, so you have two pretty good guards there. Dylan Ostakowski, he's a senior. He came over from Tulane last year and was really helpful for them. Nazmit Chulong's brother is actually on this team as well. He's a nice guard for them. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be a team that's in the mix. Andrew Jones, that was obviously a sad story. Andrew Jones got cancer last year, I believe leukemia. But we haven't heard much of him as far as his situation, as far as following up on it. But I expect Matt Jones for them to kind of take the next step. Losing Andrew Jones hurt them, but I do think he returned to practice, I want to say, recently. So what a great story that is. The big problem with Texas is, can they get enough scoring? You don't have, Bomb anymore, which takes over, You lose an elite shot blocker and defender. Um, it's just a shame he got cancer last year because they could have been a really interesting team. They would have beat Nevada for sure. What else do we have here? Kelly Bryant to Tennessee. Maybe, maybe. Who is the best big man in college this year? Um, Azubuike probably from Kansas, or I don't know. Hachimura's pretty good. Tilly's pretty good for Gonzaga. Um, I would say Azubuike will be the best big man. Um, what else do we have here? Who the hell is Philly Godfather? You can Google him. Um, I'm not talking about other cappers. You can look him up. Best gambler says Luke May. Yeah, look, Luke May's a good player. Is he the best big man in the country? I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean he's a solid player. Problem for UNC is they don't have a point guard. I think that's going to be the hurt for them. Taco Fall, yeah. I'll tell you what, UCF's going to be really good this year. UCF basketball, I think they're going to win that conference. And it pains me to say because I'd love to see the Temple Owls win it, which I'll be excited to see UCF this year down in Philly. We get to see them this year, but I really like UCF, barring any injuries. BJ Taylor's back; he's a senior. Obviously, Taco's back, and Johnny Dawkins' son, on Aubrey Dawkins, who played at Michigan, he's back as well. He had an injury last year. He didn't get to play many minutes. He's back as well. This is a pretty good team. Have some good depth as well. Chance McSpadden, Dayon Griffin. I like Johnny Dawkins' team here. I think this team could win this conference. Obviously Wichita's good and Cincinnati and I think Temple will be in the mix, but I like UCF a lot. Taco Fall, he's definitely not the best big man, but he is awfully big, isn't he? Joe Barry's not coming back for his 10th year. Yeah, exactly. What's up, James Ross? Best gambler says Luke May is the best white big man. Fair enough. I don't disagree with that. I'll tell you, kid. I talked about last night on my chat on the basketball chat. A kid that I really like. He's not necessarily a big. He's more of a 4, but I guess we consider him big. I like this kid Noah Dickerson a lot from Washington. I'm a big fan of this kid. Really a high flyer. Went to Montverde Academy, same school as Kevin Durant. This kid is a big kid. He's a high flyer. I like this Dickerson kid. I think he means more of like a true big man. So I don't really put Dickerson in there. And Mike Dahm, it's not really a true big man. I think he meant kind of like rebounder and banger down low. And if he's talking about that, it's as a weak guy. But Mike Dahm, if you're considering like a versatile player, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like Dickerson a lot. I think he could take a really big next step. All right, Montrose, whatever. Sorry, both M names. Best team in the Pac-12 this year. The best team in the Pac-12 is Oregon. Second best team is Washington. I think UCLA will be very good. I think Arizona will be good. Arizona State will be good. I would put UCLA or USC 6th probably. I think their year was last year, but they've gotten screwed with some recruiting. I'm not sure what you mean, KG. There's an annoying troll. I say it's not you. So they think I'm the troll? Who's the troll? I haven't watched that show. I don't watch that show. It's surely not me. I have more better things to do. So they think it's me. What's the guy's name? That's funny. No, it is not me. It is not I. I hope my U of A Wildcats will be good. I think they'll be good. I don't think they'll be as good as they were like last season, but I think what Sean Miller's done there is pretty impressive. With all the sanctions and or not sanctions, the indictments and stuff. Do you think St. John's makes a tourney? Um, yeah, I do actually. I think they were going to kind of be my team that I was kind of waiting to talk about. They're kind of my team that I think could be a real sleeper in the Big East. Chris Mullen, another one of those guys coming into his third season. Can he take the next step forward? This is New York's team, but they haven't really played like it. They get the occasional big win or whatever, but Shamori Pons is a star. He's a really good player. Justin Simons comes over from Arizona. He's their best defender. You still have Marvin Clark. He comes over from Michigan State, but you added Mustafa Heron from Auburn, who, listen, this kid, I think, puts them over the top. This is a really good player, Mustafa Heron, a high flyer. He comes kind of back home, if you will. I like this team. You lose Levette, which hurts, but I like it. You bring also a kid named Mikey Dixon in, played at Quinnipiac. I like St. John's a lot. I'm going to see them play Duke early in December, I believe, up at the Garden. I'm looking forward to that. Jessica Fine? That's not me. That's not me. That is not me for sure. What do you think of Mourinho and Pogba? Mourinho's a hack. I hate Mourinho. I think he needs to go. Will you be doing betcast? You ask me that all the time. No, I'm not doing a betcast. Not on SBR, no. My top 5 players in all of sports ever out of Philly, pro or college. My top 5 players in Philadelphia history. Will Chamberlain. And you're talking about all sports? Wow. The best players in Philadelphia. Definitely Will Chamberlain. Rasheed Wallace, probably. I mean, Rasheed Wallace was a great player. I'd have to think about that for a little. I'd have to think about that. I mean, there's a lot of basketball players, but like original that were born here and like played. I'd have to think about that. I'll have to get that together. Vince Papali is not on the list. Iverson wasn't from Philly. No, he's talking about players from Philadelphia that played different places. Iverson's not from Philly. The most beloved team in Philadelphia is the Eagles. The Eagles take center stage. What are your thoughts on the Camels from Campbell? Can they win the Big South? Sure. Of course they can. I like Radford a bit more. I like Ed Polite a lot. But whenever you have Chris Campbell on your team, you can win. I mean, I thought they'd win it last year, but it wasn't meant to be. But yeah, I mean, Chris Clemens is terrific. Love the kid. It's just, is anyone else going to step up? Because you lose a guy like Andrew Udy, who was a big for you. You lose Marcus Burke as well. He's going to have to score a lot of points this year. We'll see if there's that next player that can step up. Actually, I'm sorry, Udy's still there. That's good. I didn't see him. I thought he graduated for some reason. He's a senior. I saw Andrew Udy play in high school up at Cedar Crest High School in Lebanon. Yeah, I think they can win. I like Radford a bit more, but yeah, I could see it. Clemens is a terrific player. One of the best scorers in the country. Yeah, I'd have to think about that, Kyle. That's a good question. Definitely Rasheed Wallace, Will Chamberlain. They're 2 players from Philadelphia that obviously that we remember. There's a lot of great basketball players. Flip Murray, Lynn Greer. Obviously, I don't consider Kobe. He's not from Philly. He's from Lower Merion. If you're talking about from Philadelphia in the city, but if you consider Lower Merion, then obviously, Kobe Bryant, um, Flip Murray. We talked about him. Um, it's mostly a lot of basketball players. You look at the league now. I mean, Deion Waiters, pretty good player. He's from Philly. Katino Mobley. Who else? Kyle Lowry. He's from Philly. You know, but if you consider Kobe from Philadelphia, then he'd be your number one. Jermone, is it true one of clients is down 2,500? No, I don't believe so. But thanks for joining us tonight. Does Donnie live in Philly? Or is he from Philly? Donnie lives in South Jersey, not too far. He lives about 10 minutes from the city. Thoughts on Lonnie Walker and how he's going to do with the Spurs? I think he'll do just fine. He's a good kid, good player. Obviously, he's coached by the right guy. Thoughts on Michigan winning the Big Ten this year? I don't think they're going to win the Big Ten this year. But then again, it's hard to predict Michigan, isn't it? I mean, they always seem to play well in the Big Ten tournament and find a way to somehow win it. They bring back a really good team this year. For me, they're a lot like Virginia. They're kind of like a mini Virginia. They have a lot of really good guards, but who's going to pick up the slack now that Wagner's gone? I don't think it's John Teskey. I don't. But I like Eli Brooks. They have a recruit. He's a recruit that came in last year. You obviously have the names that we remember: Matthews, Poole, Simpson, Livers. I think they'll be fine. The Big Ten is an open conference this year. Michigan State is good, not great. Wisconsin's good, not great. I think it's kind of an open conference. I think Indiana's a team to look out for. They're my team for the Big Ten. Romeo Langford, it's truth. I like Indiana. Any thoughts on Kawhi's laugh? Yeah, it's funny. It's definitely funny. I definitely got a kick out of that. I've watched it probably 50 times. Yeah, it's weird for sure. Yeah. I've never really heard him laugh, so like hearing that for the first time was funny. How many of the 24 straight hours of college shoots will you watch the day of the telecast? Probably most of it. I mean, it's not going to. It's the same channel throughout the whole day, so probably a lot of it. Priyanka Chopra is an absolute dime piece, right? I don't know who that is, but let me look her up. I believe she's Indian, if I'm correct. Let's see what she looks like. Wow, really? You think she's an absolute dime? I mean, she's good. She's hot in some pictures. Like she's cute for sure. I mean, if she came up to me and said, "I want to date you," I wouldn't say no. I don't know. I don't know about she's an absolute dime. She's definitely pretty for sure. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Have a great day. Thanks for checking me out. Like I said, we'll be doing this every day, but we'll probably be on here from time to time. We'll do some questions. We'll probably do some more college basketball in here, as the season gets closer and closer. But yeah, everyone have a great night. Thanks for checking me out. Always fun to interact with some of you guys. Enjoy the day. We'll be on tomorrow, 10 o'clock a.m. on SBR. And we'll also be back 3 o'clock tomorrow on WCKG in Chicago, Fox Sports Radio. Check us out. I'm hoping down the road over the next week or two to get calls going. So hopefully we can hear from some of you guys. You can call in and say hello. And yeah, so yeah, everyone have a great night. Thanks for checking me out. We'll see you next time.